Morning, welcome back. Thursday the 11th of September today. Sun shining. We've had rain, so we've had, I'm just about to duck out the other farm, but I think we've had about 15 mil out there. There's been 12 here at home, so we're pretty close to 20 mil for the week, which is nice. Just talking to a mate I know further a couple of hours north of sort of 30, 35 mil up there, so which is good because I think they probably needed it more than what we did. Last couple of days, so he's be here after lunch. Lily's away today, so I'm here in my pap alone for a while. So we've been speed tillering. You would have seen the last video if you watched it. We've got that first paddock finished, and basically the flood irrigation, what we had up to where we dissed with the heavy yellow disc. So there's probably, I think she's got probably 7 bays left there to work twice. So it's all sort of coming up pretty well. I've got all the fence lines sprayed apart from over at Woodlands, which might try and probably get to, possibly not this week, but it'll be next week. Over there, just waiting on Chris with the windrower. I think he's done the final drives. What we've just got to get him, he actually blew his ute up. So he's, we've just been talking, we can probably put them back in. But yeah, just talking to him about logistics and that sort of stuff. So not too sure where we're up to with that. We missed out on the mower head on the auction. So wouldn't say I missed out, I just got to a point where I actually got Chris to go and look at it. So the auction was down Geelong, so I got him to go over the front, and it probably needed 5,000 to 6,000 in bits. It was missing a few bits and pieces. And then with GST, which we could get back anyway, but then they put an 8% buyer's premium or something on it. So I just had a look there last night. It got to 30,000. So, by the time 36 for repairs 30 plus the 8%, so you're giving 40 grand a nudge. Then we've got to get it home from Melbourne, which wouldn't have been a drama. I would have got on to Kev to get him to go and get it. So we didn't do any luck there. So talking to Chris yesterday, the day before, he sort of still suggested we pull that other front off the frame like we were talking about, so we may still do that yet, but we need to get this thing back on its wheels. So it wouldn't take a couple of hours with 2 of us. We'd have that front off the pull frame. So I've needed the telehandler or the little tractor and that here to do it. So now that they're sort of both back here, we could do it. So I'll just see what happens there. But yeah, like we're 4 weeks off cutting hay or silage or something, so it's all sneaking up pretty quickly. Tony's got the chaser bin in, so we've got to replace the main drive shaft. So what happened was it got bent, and I don't know whether you can see, you probably can't see that. What happened, the linkage arm came round and hit the PDO shaft, and it's bent the PDO shaft, which is over there on the ground, and then in turn it's bent that shaft right at the end where the clutch goes on it. So he's in the process of pulling that out. I'm going to go to town this morning, so I'll get a new going. So the guys at Cobham Farm Equipment get a new one ordered. So it's basically just a straight shaft with a keyway cut in each end. With the rain yesterday, we did start and make up some troughs for the feedlot. So just 6-inch or 150 mil PVC pipe, just the sort of, not the stormwater, the sort of next, it's probably 5 or 6 mil in the wall. And then we've got 700 mil holes cut in the top of it, so they can just put their nose in there. And then at this end, we've got just a little, you can see it there, little float, which we need to cut a hole in there and patch up so we can service it if we need to. It's just an inch, or might even only be 3/4. pipe into it, and then I've got it here. So generally what we do is, well, what we will do is clean water is always the go. So you can imagine if a lamb, he goes and gets a mouthful of grain and then he's a dirty bugger and he doesn't wipe his mouth, you end up with grain in the water. Oh, so we've got, oops, I just dropped it. So I've actually got onto this thing. So what it is, it's actually a gate valve off a portaloo. So we're going to put that on there, and that will be outside the fence. So you can just walk along the outside and pull that gate valve and it'll flush the water out of there. So yeah, and like we won't have we don't want to keep draining the troughs into the pen, because then you end up with mud and all the rest of it. So just by chance, the guys in it, Murray Very Rural, where we get all this sort of stuff from, they, Gav had one of these on the shelf. I was sort of explaining to him what I wanted, and then I went, that's what we want. So that's about $60. So, but it's going to make the job a lot better, because we can get that, basically the excess flow, get the exit flow, if I can get it out. So, you know, we can flush that dirty water and that out. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool. So we've got all the treated pine posts. I think Rob's going to come tomorrow. Gonna have a look at putting them in. We've just had a bit of a rejig where we're going to put it. We're just going to move it away a little bit. I got a bit of a sideways look from Sarah the other day when I said where we were going to put it, but also it's going to go sort of against the rice ground, and you'll see in time, but the ground's a bit flatter up there, so just here it's a bit rolly and undulaty, so it would have been a bit tricky to get pads flat and that sort of thing. So we'll put it up there. Yeah, the ground's a bit flatter and we can build the pads up and that with a bucket. And yeah, so haven't heard where the tire's up to for the bucket, so hopefully today it might turn up and we can get it back. Delivered a load of grain, barley yesterday, so we're just to a neighbour who's feedlotting a few cattle. Yeah, so, but anyway, I'm going to go for a quick drive around and just check rain gauges. I probably might go over and just see where the hay is up to over at Woodlands. And yeah, we're still sitting on the fence with the corn job. Yeah, don't know yet. We'll just wait and see. As I said, we've got plenty of time, and talking to Miranda, there's plenty of seed available. So yeah, we don't really have to make a decision just yet, but it'll be probably, you know, it's going to be mid-October, third week of October, before we get any in the ground anyway, if we do decide to do something. So there is a rice meeting coming up, I think next week, that I might go and have a listen to, just in Finley, which is only about half an hour away, just to hear what they're thinking and that sort of stuff. But yeah, anyway, fingers crossed. There still is a bit of rain on the forecast, but for, you know, the coming week. But we're still, as long as it doesn't get too hot, we're going to rock along pretty well for the interim anyway. So we've ended up with 19 mil out the back here. So we've ended up, I think we're about 20. We'd had 9 mil in that storm on Sunday. So we're 9 and 19. What's that? 28 for the week. Yeah, so pretty happy with that. If we can get that for the next few weeks coming ahead, that'll be good. Just having a quick look at the ewes. They're pretty happy. There's some in the hay shed that shouldn't be, so we might get them out. We did a winter clean on this lucerne, and was a pretty good decision in the end, because it's really clean, and yeah, like there's excuse me, I think there's 800 ewes here, and on the 45 hectares, and yeah, they're not getting on top of it anyway. So yeah, no, it's good stand. So you never know, we might even be able to cut some hay off this later on, if like we did last year, if we get summer rain. So this is one of the hay blocks, the oats and vetch and clover and ryegrass. So there's a fair bit here. It's up sort of knee high, I suppose. May get a bit taller yet. Fair bit of vetch here. Yeah, no, looking really good at the moment. So the plan, well, what we're thinking is these 2 blocks that are quite easy to irrigate. They've got good outlets, and that would be where we will put corn. And then again over on the other 20 hectares or whatever there was that we had over there last year. So there's about, I think there's nearly 20 here and sort of 20 over there, or not quite. So, but you can see a bit of the earlier stuff starting to, the heads are out. So whether we silage these couple of blocks just to get it off a bit earlier. Yeah, bit of tipping going on, not too sure why, but anyway, it's only going to be oats, but only going to be oats, only going to be feed, only going to be hay, so it's not big drama. Yeah, but these other couple of paddocks, plan is the young ewes that are at home, we want to give them a drench and get them over. We can lock them over here, and then possibly we'll join them over here. We're still 6 weeks off joining, but by then we can let them out. We'll have the hay off and they can just wander around here, but it's going to depend whether we've got corn in, I suppose, too, isn't it? So yeah, anyway, we'll just see how that works out. If we do, as I mentioned early on, if we do get this off as hay, we can start and laser over here. Yeah, there's a fair bit of area over here that I want to lay out as well. Or I think it has been lasered at some point in time, but yeah, just sort of re-laser it. This sort of stuff, it's a bit of a leaf disease, I think, more so than anything, but probably could have given it another hit of urea. We've only given it sort of 50 over here. Yeah, I don't know, if we had known, you know, if there's another 20 or 30 mil coming, yeah, you might hit it again, but it's probably getting late enough now. Yeah, it is some of the dryland stuff that on the lighter country that got up and going earlier. It is a lot heavier, a lot better. So, but yeah, there'll be plenty of hay here anyway, which is good, and it should be pretty good stuff. So, righto, fast forward an hour or so. I've just been in town doing a couple of jobs. Just been to snuck a sneaky gym session in. I'm just heading out now to give a mate a hand. He's got a Gold Acres self-propelled boom spray that's got a busted drop leg, which is the arm that effectively goes down to hold the back wheel. So probably my best mate Jimmy, he's I don't know whether I've spoken about, but he has done some contract spraying for us before. Yeah, so he's been to Ballarat last night, stayed down there and picked the part up this morning, and he's just getting back here. So I'll duck out, we'll see how we go. We might be able to set the time lapse up, and I was putting it back together, so I'm not actually 100% sure. I've got a rough idea what's involved, but it'll be easier with 2 blokes, and being a bit damp and not having staff on deck, I thought I'll just come out and give him a hand. And yeah, because I actually have got him booked up to do a fungicide spray for us on the rest of our canola, so we'll just say I'm sitting on the fence a little bit with that as far as whether we do it or not, just with the way the season is. But yeah, anyway, we'll get out here, and we've got a bit of lunch with me. Picked up sushi for lunch, so we'll have some lunch and then we'll slip into it. Broken one. New one. Say hi, Jimmy. If you need any header contracting done or spraying, Jimmy's your man.
Thank you, John.
Help a brother out. Like a one-legged duck. We'll have her back on the wheels in no time, Jimmy.
Yeah, 3 hours.
It'll be gone by 3:30, so. So an update. Had to put shims in round there. Shout out to engineers, because they've just made things really easy for us. Yeah, got to do them up through there. But we're getting there. Put plate in there with a pin, and then drop leg next, Jimmy.
Yep.
Progress. all back together. Jimmy's happy, just needs a few bits and bobs, and then he can go spraying. Happy days. Happy days, Jimmy. Righto, about knock off time. So back at home, Tony got here after lunch. Yeah, he just finished pulling the chaser bin to bits. I've ordered the new shaft for it when I was in town today. And then he just got to and cut the other one. Oh, look out, he's clamped it there. Cut another trough out. We've still got 6 to do. So, yeah, that one, I think don't know whether I mentioned on the last one, we, yeah, probably cut too much out there and it closed up a bit. So we've just left 100 mil. So we've got 700 mil. Yeah, and then I think we've sort of worked it out. It'll have about 50 kilos of water in it when it's half full. So I think we'll just put a support at each end and then one here in the middle. And that should work. I did get a box of fittings while I was in town as well, but we're still waiting on a few as well. So tomorrow, Lily will be back, so we'll get her. We've been pretty windy today, so things have sort of dried out a bit. Get her finished disking the where we're going to put the loosen up there, and then we can sort of give it the weekend and hit it with the speed tiller, and then weather permitting next week we can get. I'm still waiting on the loosened seed actually. That's what's sort of holding that job up a little bit. We can maybe get some seed in the ground by late next week. So yeah, that'll be good. What else are we doing tomorrow? I might do a bit more crop spraying, that sort of stuff. I don't know whether I mentioned earlier, I can't remember. I might look at mounting the male conditioner on the windrower again. Anyway, there's a bit going on there. Hopefully Rob might come over from next door and we can start and mark this. Look at the feedlot, and probably Lily and I might even peg it out in the morning before she starts doing that, which will be good. Still waiting. The tyre for the laser bucket is in town. Hopefully they've got it on the rim. They hadn't done it when I called in there today, so yeah, I'll see how we go and pick it up tomorrow maybe. And I've got the truck semi-booked in on Monday. It needs some tyres. Got a couple of slow leaky tyres that need fixing. And we need to just rotate a few on the prime mover that are wearing a bit funny. I don't know, I was talking to the guy, Michael, at the tyre place about it, and because we've got a short trailer, or it's effectively an A trailer for a B double, but we run it as a short trailer, whether it's not helping with the way the drive tyres wear on the prime mover. So anyway, it is what it is. We're not doing interstate transport with it. If it does 10,000 k's a year, it's doing pretty well probably. So what else? We've got a bit of fungicide spraying to do, so we've got the recos for that for the wheat. We might just leave that till Monday. I was talking to Tony about it before. There's been more rain out at the other farms, obviously, so yeah, we might look at doing that after the weekend just to give it a bit extra time to dry. And a little bit of late mail, the summer crop program might be changing. There has been a release. Sunrise have brought out a new contract price, and it's pretty bloody attractive. So rice may be back on the table. So I'll get in touch with Miranda tomorrow and have a yarn to her. But yeah, I think we'll probably go with rice over corn just for the logistics at the back end, and there's more money in it. So watch this space on that one, and there's a bit to do there, but not heaps. We've got a month basically to get it in the ground, or before you'd start and plant it. So that would give us, only thing we need to do is get a couple of stops put in, concrete outlets, channel stops put in. So we could make a call tomorrow and get that done next week anyway. And then, yeah, we'd knock that tillage radish out, multi-disc it a couple of times, and the rice would be right to plant. So I'm reasonably excited about that because, as I mentioned, I really like growing rice. So, yeah, so that's sort of that just watch this space. We'll know a bit more in the coming videos. So, all right, something different today. We're always fixing something. It might just not be our stuff we're fixing. So, but no, it's good to get over there and help James get that back on its wheels and get it going again. So, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.